I want you to 10. I'm going to try and step into every. I'm going to just get you a follow-up that's basically a flat snap. But the goal is I want to step into every.
No. There's no like.
Every attack.
No, you're super solid up in there, and then it's just sort of a matter of like trying to pull you out of position a little bit. Like, I mean, it's good. It's good knowing how good your defense is. That I don't get frustrated when I hit you in the shield. Right. Like some people, I'm like, oh, I'm hitting this guy in the shield.
Yeah.
You, I'm like, okay, that's okay.
But literally, all I'm focusing on doing, I don't care if I make
I'm not triggering back when you're getting open.
I'm going to step to here, make sure, so that I've changed the angle.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for is the angle change. Not so much the defensive problem.
When I'm like, and then several times where I'm like this, or like I got behind, and the ground's actually really bad out here for that.
Yeah, I got boggy a couple
fucking around in there. Like, it's not good for backing out and trying to counter shoot people.
No, I had some wobbly down moments too, and then to be honest,
that's the same with the offense.
Towards the end, I was like, okay, there's one going to be gas, and I was like, I'm down a whole level. I'm like, all right.
Well, that last thrust too was exactly the same thing. As I you bluffed up high. And I faded out of it, which is not the worst, but then my foot went in the hole. Like not a big hole, right? But like just enough to like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get thrust in the head now, and I'm not off balance.
And out is just as good as in for defense.
Is that process?
Even for offense. So if I get into here, my offense is actually a little limited.
I think that the key
I can
is
get you to throw up in here, but I'm clearing, making the block, throwing, and now I'm out here.
Like, I mean,
and I've cleared the zone.
I had a couple of long sets with Louis back in.
And something that a lot of people don't realize.
Remember?
Yeah. This is a really hard shot.
Yeah.
Because it's the same as pivoting.
He's very solid. But what he really has that almost nobody has is he just literally doesn't ever stop.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like he's just, you're like in it for like when we were out there 5-6 minutes. He's like still 100%.
Putting it on you.
And,
right, and like
and
he's got that Branos.
I turned that into a feature.
Oh, you're a little tired?
I'm actually going from.
Oh, you're excited?
One of my favorites.
He's got a really good motor, like, like that. It's super frustrating because his defense is really tight. Like, even though he's all up here, right? It's not easy to get.
He comes in hard.
I mean,
Dude's very cool.
Oh, he's knighted. He's just not.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if he was knighted.
Yeah, he was knighted. He's absolutely.
Narrow shield?
No question. And he had to get
You're blocking something on this side, step to it. Let the corner lead you to it. But step to it.
No, he's really good. But
stepping
he's
this
also,
way,
I mean,
let the corner lead.
People who fight his
you never want to take that
frame a lot. Right. Like they have different tricks and
most people do that a lot.
And I noticed both of those. A lot of those guys, what they do is
the elbow leads the block.
They do so much maneuvering in range that they'll sometimes maneuver right into your low.
Yeah.
Because they're like constantly trying to cross this foot or that foot, and if you don't really give it to them, they'll like
I've
cross
been fighting
this foot
with
and
that
cross
shape
the other
for
way, and like
30
let's
years?
give you this little tracking.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
oh, by the way, bang.
That it's now
often,
second nature to kick my elbow over and take that step. But the elbow comes in advance, so that I'm not exposing the leg. If I'm going that way, the elbow comes out and the hand comes out a little.
Yeah.
For them, that's just a lot of fucking territory.
Second one makes sense.
Like, you're 6'6" and you're
Grab your
fucking
shield.
down.
Yeah.
This line, it's that stick's gotta get active.
How we doing?
It's
You're breaking that guy up. And
It's
if
got
it
some
wasn't,
gap.
hit him with that. Boom, like, rip down the middle, then,
That's what belts are for.
But I haven't fought those guys in that style.
Like I said, we're not going to throw full speed. I just want you to feel what it feels like.
Louis,
Do you have a belt? Do you want a belt? I mean, you'll do fine with just that.
you look at that guy.
Certainly
going,
can't
I
put my
got
stuff on.
cardio right now.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean-
a fat old Duke. That guy run around me.
I mean, yeah, it's funny
I
because
have
I move around a lot,
an old
and then against him, I
breastplate
like slow it
made
way down just to keep it. Because there's no point. Like, I'm not going to really outmaneuver.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you just try to save it up a
Hey,
little
look,
bit.
that's almost a peace cod. It's an Empire peace
do
cod.
end right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one's
You
like,
didn't need your floating ribs.
well, and Maiden was only 1.5 feet tall. Or is only 1.5 feet tall.
I do love
So,
comparative armor when you're picking it up.
Have you done any
Oh, that's the other
regular
thing, too, is
martial arts?
his crown
Just
was all,
dance, right?
mid-realm crown's all funny weapons.
So, literally
Like
what
you had
I'm
to rotate
doing
every time.
is my elbow.
It changes all the time.
No, but that one that he was in,
Oh, that was
he came in third. I think he.
That's
I don't know if
okay.
he really came
Go
in
on
third, but
guard.
he lost to
Go on
two
guard.
finalists.
Okay.
Right?
So step this way to make the block. That's all I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's all I'm talking about. Get the shield ahead of you. Because if you leave the shield behind, then this becomes exposed.
Yeah.
How they also, it's because it's not an open.
The other thing is get the shield ahead of you, but be able to do this.
It feels like you're just kind of getting a pass for doing weird things because you're, a senior guy, and I get that.
And that's exactly right. Because what sometimes will happen is you take that step and I go like this.
Yeah.
You want to be able to turn back on the balls of your feet to catch it.
Yeah.
Like there was the one crown we saw. It was I think it was Trimaris, where the king, after watching Atlantean Crown, Atlantean Crown was actually kind of normal, except for it had one of the single worst fights I've ever seen in finals. Like where literally Kuan hit this guy 7-8 times.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't like ugly, like he was hitting Kuan and Kuan wasn't taking it. Like Kuan was just pounding on him, he just wasn't taking anything. Like he just lost track of how to fight, like how reality worked.
Wow.
And he's just getting hit over and over and over again. And then like he finally loses, and then there's like a little conference, and then he loses the next one pretty fast. But like after Trimaris is like, okay, marshals, you are to like interrupt and lecture.